꿈에 나오지 마!
저는 앞으로 좋은 꿈만 꿨으면 좋겠다는 생각으로 드림캐쳐를 사고.
It goes without saying that the 7 boys of BTS are close with each other, so it is only natural that they consider each other as family. From trainee days until finally debuting as the most successful K-pop act today, I bet all the late-night dance practices and endless rehearsals made them rely with each other to the point that the trust they have is impeccable. That is why it's no surprise that when something is bothering them, the K-pop idols would definitely go find their members first for backup. That is exactly what V did when he once found himself so scared after dreaming about a ghost in his sleep. Taetae went straight to Jimin and asked his friend if he can sleep with him, but he didn't expect for the other to react the way he did. If you want to hear more about what actually happened or just want to be spooked out with V's ghost story, then keep watching because this duo has an absolute treat for all of you. Okay, let's get started with the story. ARMYs know that V is scared of a few things, which includes height, things which he considers as gross, and bees. Well, by looking at the list, Taehyung indeed has a reasonable set of fears, but out of all of these, the BTS member had been very vocal about his undying fear of the dead, or basically ghosts and supernatural beings. Well, honestly, I can't blame him because there are a lot of people who would rather trade everything than to experience seeing a ghost, right? How about you? Do you also share the same fear with our dear V? Anyways, going back, since V is scared of ghosts, it's only expected that he will feel extreme fear when he has a nightmare, let alone a nightmare that involves him seeing a ghost. Can you imagine waking up in the middle of the night from a bad dream and worse, you are alone? Well, that's exactly what happened to V, and the BTS member is definitely horrified. This happened when the boys visited the Philippines as a part of their summer package. It was a very fun and exciting trip nonetheless, not until the night came and everyone retired for the day to get some actual rest. Seems like V didn't get any since he woke up after having a nightmare, and since he knew he could not get any sleep if he stays alone, V walked to Jimin's room and decided to bunk with him throughout the night, so he can avoid getting any more scared than he already is. But something unexpected happened because Jimin ended up kicking him out of the room.
귀신을 봤다 해가지고 저한테 이제 같이 자자고 방을 찾아왔더라고요.
야, 손톱 내가 안 찾아왔어.
제가 너무 졸려가지고 기억을 못해요, 제가. 네, 나가라 그랬나봐요, 제가.
Well, that is definitely a turn of events we didn't see coming, and I bet V felt the same as well. Reiterating the story to the other BTS members to hear, Jimin clarified that when V came to his room to sleep together after he saw a ghost, he was already very sleepy and probably half awake, that he didn't remember kicking his scared member out of the room. He added that he wasn't quite sure himself, but he did say the words "go out," so maybe that was the reason why V thought he was kicking him out. In a post-interview, Jimin shared his true feelings, saying, "I had driven him away, so I felt very bad. I don't want to remember that incident. I was terribly tired. I could not understand his problem because of sleep." This is when Jimin revealed that he had no idea that V had a nightmare at first. So after knowing that his member experienced something scary, he went out to buy a dream catcher for V.
목걸이 사줬습니다.
샀는데 이거 사실 제게 아닙니다. 이거는 태영이 겁니다.
오.
태영이가 어제
hoping it would keep the bad dreams away and also make up for him after what happened. Isn't he just the cutest for thinking that putting up the dream catcher will make V feel better? In the end, Jimin brought the charm he bought and apologized to V for allegedly kicking him out of the room. V, on the other hand, revealed in another interview that Jimin did not actually kick him out, and it turns out it was only a misunderstanding given that maybe they were too sleepy during that time. In an interview, Tae clarified that during the incident, Jimin did not kick him out and instead even opened the door for him to enter. After the incident was sorted out, V had mentioned about the dreamcatcher Jimin gave him in their song Friends from Map of the Soul 7. In the track, the lyrics say, "The dreamcatcher in my room, 7-year-long history, is that why it's even more special?" actually points out to the deep and long-lasting friendship between Jimin and V, which as a matter of fact dates way back before they even debuted with BTS, as the two went to the same high school. And of course, after hearing the details behind the heartwarming song, ARMYs are loving how strong the bond between the duo is. Okay, let me explain how this was possible, okay? I know ARMYs are aware that V came from Daegu, so naturally he attended a high school there. specifically Daegu Jeil High School. The same goes with Jimin, who hailed from Busan and studied at Busan Arts High School. But the two actually transferred to the same high school when they started training with Big Hit, which explained how they were able to study in the same school during their trainee days. Going back, the two shared many times that they were thankful that they had each other during those times, since for two teenagers moving to Seoul at such a young age to reach their dreams, having a friend that shares a lot in common is a big source of comfort. There was even a time V stood up for Jimin when he thought the other was getting bullied in school. Remember when I said that Jimin came from Busan? Well, because of that, Jimin has an accent when he speaks, which unfortunately many of his classmates find funny, so eventually they started making fun of him just because he speaks differently. Thankfully though, V is there together with him, who bravely stood up for him against his bullies. There was even a time when V confronted his own friends thinking they were ignoring Jimin. When Jimin enrolled in V's high school, V introduced him to all of his friends and teachers because he wanted for the other to also be friends with them and help him adjust to the new environment. But one time, V later saw Jimin alone and confronted his friends about this, as he thought they were ignoring his co-trainee at that time. Explaining why he did that, V answered saying, "I was surprised, and so I got angry at my friends and said, 'Why are you not talking to my friend?' In the end, V's friend explained that it was only a misunderstanding and that they were actually not ignoring Jimin, which is a good thing, right? And years after that, the duo finally found their place on the top of the music industry, breaking and setting records one after another, and if that isn't friendship for you, then I don't know what is. Despite their fair share of fights and rough patches in their friendship, the two members have always managed to stay close to each other. And it goes without saying that they had grew closer from the two high school boys that they were before, and even though there will be more challenges in their friendship, including the other members of BTS, I know that fans will agree that these two will definitely overcome that, and more, since they respect and love each other just like families do. I just hope that the next time V wakes up from a nightmare or sees any ghost, which I pray he won't, he and Jimin will be awake enough to comprehend what is going on. Anyways, I bet no nightmare will visit Tae anytime soon, especially with the dream catcher Jimin gave him, which probably is still hanging above his head every time he goes to sleep, right? What do you guys think? Aren't V and Jimin the cutest set of friends? Let us know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more. Do hit that notification button so that way you won't miss an upload from us. See you next time. Bye!